Hi, it's me from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast. Are you looking for the perfect blend of nostalgia and patriotism in your wardrobe? Look no further than ZJZ Designs, available now at zjzdesigns.com. Their exclusive t-shirt collection features stunning designs like the iconic Plymouth Barracuda print, taking you back to the golden era of muscle cars. Show your love for your country with their bold patriotic heart designs that stand out and make a statement. From car enthusiast to proud patriot, ZJZ Designs has something special just for you. Head to ZJZ Designs and elevate your style. Visit zjzdesigns.com or check the show notes.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 225. I am Barrett Gruber, and I am joined today for a second time after the fourth time at the Hall of Horrors. Hall of Horrors put on by the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees here in Cayce, South Carolina, with Shelby and O'Shawn. And we're going to get to why I'm here with y'all in a second. Normally people are here with me, or normally people are with me. You all are here with me. We are sans Zach because Zach is in Greenville. We've talked about it on the show, but I'll mention it again. He is in Greenville, South Carolina because he took a new job, and fast forward minus all the deja vu, he told me he kicked Henry McMasters in the balls. That was what we said last time. Yeah, it didn't happen. He's
lustful liar.
He still has his job, thankfully, so we're good. Real quick, I want to thank Rajan and Latoya Lewis, hosts of the Pursuit of Forever podcast, available everywhere you listen. Thank you very much to Rajan and Latoya for being on the podcast last time. Also, Everplay Sports and Social late fall signups are going on now. 7-week bowling at Bolero and Cayce. You can sign up for that through October 23rd. I would suggest you do that soon because that will fill up. There will be 22 leagues or 22 teams, and it will get filled up. So sign up for that now. I keep staring at that light, and now I can't see my screen. Sunday, Super Rec Kickball. Sign up for that through October 7th. Wednesday, Co-Ed Flag Football, October 7th also. Tuesday, Sand Volleyball. You can sign up for that through October 7th. You can register now as leagues will sell out. And also, they have a free kickball day that's coming up. You can check the website, everplaysocial.net, for all that, or everplaysocial.com. Links are in the show notes. Just check those. So again, to start off, so look, y'all laughing at me. She's drunk.
I am not. I'm high.
Medicatedly.
I am prescription medicatedly a little high.
Okay. All right.
I just took shots, so.
It is
10:30
Sunday morning.
Good morning. Hey, I'm not on a time schedule right now. I'm off for the next week for my regular
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, he's taking it.
Oh, well, you'll be here.
Because I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
Doing
This
that's
couch
fair.
you're sitting on is new home.
I was about to say, you're on my bed. Get your butt off my bed. Street
Well,
clothes.
excuse what I did a minute ago. So we're at the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees here. It's 1153 Walter Price Road, Cayce, South Carolina. Again, Shelby and O'Shawn, thank you very much for being on the show with me.
Thank you for having us again.
I don't think I've ever been here when it wasn't a little dirty.
Ooh,
So embarrassing to be
below
Really?
the
At
belt.
this point, I feel like we're friends. So like,
That's-
it's one of those things like when your friends come over to your house, like they know those dishes. Like if you try and clean up, they know that you.
Wow.
Like
If
we're
you're
not-
just going to say things about me, you could just look at me.
you. Yeah.
Is Shelby responsible for cleaning up the dishes?
No, it's whenever we
Shelby's
go over to her
irresponsible at
house,
cleaning
and
up
she's just,
dishes.
like trying to scrub, and I'm like,
Girl, we knew you weren't
no,
going to do
those
that.
dishes were- yeah, like you don't have to clean up for me. I like, you know.
It's haunt season, and we're at the Hall of Horrors. I think one of the questions I wanted to ask last time that I didn't ask, so just so everybody knows, this is a re-record because there's a dumb shit on the couch that didn't make sure that the audio was being fed back through our recording device.
Is that happening now, though?
It is not happening now. I can tell. Yeah, don't get sassy. Hallofhorrors.org is where you can get tickets. Tickets this year, $15 and also a $30 VIP. Now, when we talked last time, there was mention of potentially like a sort of like a picture.
Yes, which I've actually hammered out the details since then. I didn't know I'd get to tell you in person, so that's awesome. But we...
Oh, for sure.
I got more information for you this time.
That works.
$15 general admin ticket, $20 general admin with a digital photo op, $25 for the general admin and a printed photo op. Same scale for the RIP tickets. It just goes up by 5 for
5 and then 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So, do you all have someone that's going to be taking the pictures that is like a dedicated sort of
Yeah, she's a photographer who is just looking to bulk up her portfolio. She does great work.
That's awesome.
And she wants to try to do like the background. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm not a photographer. I don't need to know this.
the ambiance? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, she just has a backdrop that's green screened, so she
Oh,
can, like,
okay.
edit it in.
So just like our souvenir. type,
Yeah,
like-
thank you. That was a souvenir. For
I like the ambiance to the
That
photo.
was fancier.
So Fridays and Saturdays through October. Thursdays are going to be blackout nights starting on October 17th. So I guess you'll have like 2 Thursday night blackout nights. Then Sunday, October 27th, Wednesday, October 30th, and Thursday, October 31st for Halloween Eve and night. And just to put it out there, Zach and I are going to be here on the 17th, the first blackout night, where we will be broadcasting live, hopefully next to a food truck, if we can talk Zach's family into it. If not, I might have somebody that would be.
Zach, I have another husband.
So Zach is my co-host.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Truck too?
Well, no.
Just learning about this live that they have a food truck.
No. But no, Zach doesn't have a food truck. But we could potentially find someone who could come out and do pizzas and calzones or something like that.
Are we learning about this live?
Yeah, this is live.
Yeah, say,
I feel like-
just messing things up.
We
I
talking
can mention
about
it.
her-
Well, I was talking about her father-in-law's food truck, but if that didn't work out, I might could find somebody. We're not plugging somebody else right now. We might.
We're supporting Zach and his family.
There you go. Sort of. Yes. All right. So I wanted to discuss some of the background and the preparation. How long have you both been doing this now? And I know we've asked this in previous episodes, not just the last recording, but how long have you all actually been involved with the Hall of Horrors?
I just did the quick finger math really quick, when you do the 10 plus so 15 years for me. This will be my 15th season.
So you started when
2009.
you were 20, because you are going to be 35 in November.
19, Barrett.
19. Fair
Wow,
enough.
way to put his
After-
golden age out there.
But also, now my age is on the record.
That's right.
When I become super famous one day, people will be able to.
Well, it'll make your Wikipedia page for sure.
That's fake.
That's-
I'm going to change that.
Shelby, how long have you been involved?
2008.
2008.
Yeah, just right before he showed up.
And you were how old in 2008?
I have to finger math it.
Because that's 16 years ago. So it's
Yeah, so it's right, and I'm not giving you my age on live.
She's
No,
fine.
not put my age on live for $1,000. I was 14 going on 15.
So they were in high school.
Yeah.
When I started. I was in college. That was right after my first year.
so. What was it that you did, O'Shawn, when you first started here?
Well, first I was told by the Jaycees, hey, or rogue haunt members, don't become a Jaycee. We don't believe in. However, I was here for the haunt expressly.
Okay.
And after a few seasons of the haunt, they kind of went on to do other projects, and then that's when I kind of took over as the creative director. So then I was kind of apprenticing in a weird way, came in with the skill sets that I had, added to the team, and then when they left, just kind of replaced them, and then I've been doing that ever since.
Okay. All right. And Shelby, when you started, what was your function?
Being as young as I was, I came in volunteering through a program at school for JRTC, so I was just some little weird kid actor coming in, and I started playing with the makeup because I was one of those weird kids, and they're like, you're really good at that. You stay here because we don't have someone to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
so
it.
you were a Brooklyn Cayce kid? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that I
Explains a lot.
I was about to say, and then a lot of other people ended up coming in that way. So
Yeah.
and now we want to kind of go back to our roots and do that again.
Yeah.
Recruit more people. So for future seasons, this season included.
What is the most memorable thing you remember from the first season that you worked?
I remember meeting all of them because, what was it? Y'all, was that the year that we had the vampire room? I
God.
believe that was. And,
Yes.
that's when I met you, and then the whole Lacey group and everybody, and they were just a bunch of weird vampires that they were really into it which is weird because they were all ROTC people, but they gave hard theater vibes, and they were just freaking weird. So.
God, I honestly think out of my first year of being here was the most memorable thing is actually like locking up each night. I don't know.
Really?
It's because like that's how I got to actually get to know everyone here.
Took on responsibility too.
Which the
No,
odd part,
at that point, no, I didn't.
you asked about the most
You were
memorable
locking
thing.
up, right?
Oh, okay. I say locking up when we were closing down for the night, getting everyone out of the haunt.
Oh, I see.
We'd hang
Okay.
out out front, and just then we'd hit Krispy Kreme every single night we were here.
Nice.
And that's how we like all bonded.
You asked about like how things used to be, but that's the weird part too. So when I took over as creative director, that's when the format of the haunt actually changed, because we used to be a very skit-based haunt. So that's honestly what I really remember was each room in the haunt was
Yeah.
a specific scene that you'd come into, an action would happen, like a scene would play out, and then the scare would happen, then you'd move to the next room, but then we like quickly outpaced that to where just the lines would just be way too long for that, and plus the way the industry works, you're just kind of unfortunately congliding through a haunt.
Yeah.
So while we try and keep the experience personal as we can get it, like that's when it kind of flipped to just being like you walk through each scene rather than experience a show in a weird way.
Yeah, I'll say one of the things I do notice about some of the other haunts that we go to that we almost always wind up getting caught up by the crowd behind us, and that
Unfortunate.
yeah,
Is that because you're walking slower and they catch up? So like you never catch up to the people in front of you.
a lot of the time it's because they're runners. Like these are people that run from they run to the next scene, and
Which are fun to watch.
But they're the ones who barrel through walls.
oh, have you all had
I've
incidents?
seen a whole room knocked down before by someone trying to get out because they were scared and they just hit a wall. Not that we don't securely build things, but they slam into it hard.
Yeah, we go into building and designing with the thought process at this point. Like we're there. Like one of the
Brace
groups
it
that we
8
have this
times.
season, it's like this is a fun idea, but hey, let's think about that person that's going to run through the scene or jump back from this thing. This is now this wall behind it has to be reinforced. 'Cause
Well, and that's something to acknowledge, because if we weren't sitting in a room that's 8 feet by 12 feet, that if these walls weren't up and the rest of the walls weren't up, it would just be completely open underneath this roof. So everything you see here at the Hall of Horrors has been constructed with the idea. Look,
sorry.
we're not that far from Cayce. She's drunk and high.
I'm not. Oh my God. I'm a little hungover and a little stoned.
Oh, sorry. She's hungover and medicated. I will make sure to cut out that part that I leave
Thank
in.
you. Thank you so much.
the part that I leave in.
Was this particular haunt always called the Hall of Horrors?
Yes.
I've tried to rebrand it a few times, but they wouldn't let me. But yes,
Yeah. What were some of the rebrands you tried?
I don't even think it got past the idea of being rebranded because like I'm one of those people like Hall of Horrors just sounds so like it's one of those weird
Sounds
things.
old.
It sounds so dated.
Yeah.
And there's like in the industry everybody's got like Bob's Boo Barn, like every name that you could think of has
Not
been
the Boo Barn.
taken. So realistically it's like we've got one of those original like nostalgia kind of things. So you like that for that reason, but
Yeah.
at the same time I'm like, we need to be like
Spicy.
yeah, like something like more exciting that like wants people to come through the doors. But I mean honestly it's just stuck. So
And the Hall of Horrors has been going on for nearly 40 years
Yeah.
longer than I've been here.
at this location.
No.
In some form or fashion, it's been going on for 40 years. Not at this location
Apparently.
fully.
From what we've heard, like it used to actually be in real houses at one point. Like there were, you know, one of our old ladies. She said like they would step through the like floor in old houses because they were that old.
Oh, wow.
Like, the places that they were just setting up. For the
That's
season.
why they bought this building.
So you had a pharmacist or some sort of a nurse on site to apply the tetanus shots and things like that.
They had
I
to.
actually get a
Well,
yearly tetanus shot.
Yeah, well, it's important to do anyway.
I mean, there's no point in it, but I do it anyway.
Spade and neuter your pets too. Sorry,
Yes, Bob. Is he still with us?
Bob is dead. I think Bob Barker's dead.
I don't know.
Drew
Listen,
Carey
Got
replaced him.
by Drew Carey, yeah.
I would say the timeline keeps glitching because I also thought, what's his name was dead way before this year. Who was that?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Johnny
Redheaded
Cash.
man.
Redheaded man. Redheaded man? Is this someone local or is this
No.
No, it was a celebrity that like died recently.
It was a
quote,
couple
unquote, that
months
we,
ago, but I
like,
swear
This is
Richard
happening
Pryor
years ago.
or who was it?
Oh, Richard Pryor's been dead for
No,
several years.
The gay or the allegedly gay
Aerobics
fitness
guy.
You're talking about Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead years ago.
Just as a side note, I cried when Richard Simmons died, and the reason I say that is I don't care about I don't care about his flamboyancy. I mean, he genuinely. Well, no, but he genuinely cared about people. Like, people would come when they, like, even up into this recent summer, like there was one of those celebrity tours where people drive past the house and whatnot, and he just happened to be outside when a bus came by, and he interacted with that entire group. He took pictures with them. He was so kind.
He's
like,
so gone now.
and I loved listening to him on Howard Stern show, because that, if you haven't ever, just YouTube some of that stuff, because it's so good.
Wild.
Yeah, he's calm now in his 70s, late 60s. It was always very entertaining.
Underage kid watching that stuff that I shouldn't have been watching late night.
That's fair. I
All
did.
we had was Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith After Dark.
After Dark.
Yeah,
Check on.
that was when Barney got 2 bullets and.
No.
So for this year's haunt, what went into the preparation for getting everything, not pre-building? What came about with the actual preparation?
Can you phrase that question in a way that makes me understand?
Pass.
What was the first step in preparing for this year's haunt?
So outside of actually like putting our hands in here, it's like the planning stage. It's brainstorming. All of that starts happening now. For
Okay.
Next year, we try not to put the cart before the horse, but I can't help it.
We can't help it because we're just that creative in terms of like we always want to be doing something. So even though this year's locked in now, and I say now as in like even as soon as last night, like something is going to change all the time, and we're never going to actually be finished with it.
Sure.
We'll get it show ready, obviously, but it'll just.
You could always add more.
What is the teardown process at the end of the haunt?
So it's a weird method of madness because we don't actually tear down after haunt season. We come in, we evaluate, and try to apply the new ideas to what's here.
Sure.
So that way we don't have to like do so much to
Yeah.
get it ready or reconfigure it. But then we're like, oh, we can just move this one wall, or then it moves to like the room, and then it's like, okay, we'll just demolish the back half and we'll redo it. And
Okay.
It goes
So
from
the
there.
place is always in constant disrepair.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's way more chaotic. Like we had the fire department stop by last night, and they came by a few weeks ago. They'll stop in every now and again, and like them just walking through, I'm like, hey, you know, don't
Step
mind this
over that.
mound of like whatever's in the way.
This flammable material.
We have the that stuff that we.
The flame retardant.
Yeah.
Do you?
We do. Why would you?
No, purely out of curiosity. Like that's it's a preparation. It's a preparation thing.
Sorry.
It's a little.
I just got here.
Yeah. Like when you say flame retardant, like all the walls have a coating of something, or there's like what is?
For legal reasons, I'm gonna say yes. But so there's a product, Flame Shield, specifically what we have. So it comes in like a sprayable form, so where you could just spray it on fabrics.
Okay.
Then there's also a paint additive that you can add to like just roll on latex. So it's like per every gallon you put so much in it, and then it creates a barrier, like a flame barrier.
And there's no open flames in the haunt this year.
Not inside.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
We have some type of flame stuff, but it's nowhere close to the building at all. So.
Okay.
She's talking about those flame cannons that sit on top. By
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Got some fire out there, but not near the building, and insurance doesn't need to worry about it.
So, in preparation, how do you all choose? Like, as far as like when it comes to preparing for this season's haunt, do you all go and find new props, things like that? How does that sort of fall into place? Because over Shelby's left shoulder, there is. She indicated that this was the first body that you two made together.
He was actually teaching me how to do props at this point because I finally got into the background of building out of makeup. And this is the first guy that I like made, aka that he like helped me. Like this is what he taught me on. So he's like 10 years old.
Does he have a name?
His name is Garrett.
Motherfuck. Okay. What I know you guys attend a lot of conventions and things like that. How much of your ideas do you pull from those?
It's 50-50 because to
Yeah.
be quite honest, it actually kind of in an odd way the last few seasons has worked opposite where like I just kind of guess on a theme or like kind of intuitively be like, hey, let's do this.
Feeling the mojo
and
of
then
it.
we'll show up to the trade show, and then ironically for the last few years,
Yeah.
actually, it's always been like that focused. So one
Okay.
year it was witches, the next it was like all the farmhouse stuff, the next it's like vampires. So we kind of hit the nail on the head incidentally every year, but we try and go in open-minded, fresh, like base to be like, hey, when we get to the show, if we see something cool, we'll integrate it, or sometimes that will cause a flip in like what we want to do. Like we're like, hey, this is actually really cool. We didn't think of it. So
Yeah. What is the theme for this year?
you looking to Garrett.
It's a play off of last year. We went a little bit heavier into the detail of, I'm gonna say Dark Harvest just because that was last year, but it's more like engraved roots type of thing to kind of personify the evil of like the land and all of that.
So this is almost like a prequel to. Could it be?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. It's a prequel to Dark Harvest. So
I'm gonna add that to the website.
honestly, go change that now.
Credit to me.
Credit to Garrett.
Look,
I'm sorry.
if that asshole over there continues to get much more credit for this, he's gonna have to start
Yeah,
paying for the
fight
software.
Brought to you by-
Construction of the haunt is obviously there's limited space too. Like how difficult is it to move? Like we're sitting on a couch that I'm recognizing that the doors, this thing wouldn't have fit through that. Absolutely.
Like my little small
So
actor
let's
door.
talk about it. Actually, kind of like dialing back to what you asked earlier about, just how the pre-construction and deconstruction and everything works. I mean, realistically, this was the living room last year, so this couch got in here prior to. So we really kind of modeled everything around what was there if we couldn't move it.
Okay.
So like that piano that's in the library now, it was a few rooms down, and to like wheel it through those little hallways, and as heavy as that piano is, it gets difficult.
I just picture Ross from Friends yelling, "Pivot,
Pivot." Yeah.
pivot."
I just don't know that reference.
Because we both watch Friends.
I like both.
Oh, is that a straight thing?
If you,
No, it's a white
we
thing.
said-
I'm
Oh,
not
a
straight.
white thing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, two things can be true. Yeah.
I did.
No, but to go back on that though, honestly, one, we take a lot of things that people like. This was actually a friend of mine at work. She was like, "I'm getting a new couch. It's a really pretty couch. I know you can use it in the haunt." And I was like, "Yes, it's beautiful. Give it to me." So that's where this came
It
from.
looks like this is beautiful.
It was.
No,
it
look,
was.
I pass no judgment.
Well, she had one of those cute little artsy houses. Don't judge. Anyway, but I did not know what we were going to do with this couch because the living room concept actually didn't exist yet. I was just like, just give me that couch. I love
Yeah.
it. I think it was actually in a waiting room the
Yeah, I
first
was
year we
about
got
to
it.
say, It wasn't even like it sat somewhere completely not where it needed to be.
Yeah.
but it
Yeah,
was- We
so-
collect junk. We're kind of like those like weird scrappers that are around town. Like
Dumpster divers.
anything that.
It's not that weird.
I love dumpster diving.
Well, we're like those not weird dumpsters.
Yeah.
Weird scrappers.
No, we watch YouTube videos all the time of these people going into dumpsters and pulling out like thousands of dollars and stuff. Like if I see a box of pens, I'm like, that's useless to me. But they'll turn around and sell 5 pens on eBay for like $1.
What kind of pens are these?
Like I don't know, ink
Marker,
pens,
like, writing
Jack.
pens?
Yeah. I mean, they'll.
Also, who's on eBay buying pens?
Like what kind of?
You could
pens are
steal them
these?
from a waiting room.
I don't know. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Everybody's got a
Not
kink.
a pen for everybody. I guess that's why they're there. But yeah, so the rooms do get configured around some stuff that can't be moved out of there. But then again, we collect so much over the years. Kind of hoard. That's the 2 storage units out there. But it
I'm
comes
the hoarder
comes
out
back
of the two
around.
of us.
Yeah.
I will keep any and everything, and she wants to throw any and everything out. So
Aged, it ages, so
Can
know.
I actually give you some context to that because this is how sad it is.
Yes, please.
He had a Tidy Cats box, like the big litter box.
A box,
Well, so
an empty box.
yeah, it was empty. He
container,
would like
5-gallon bucket.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he
Okay.
carried around to like collect lights in and everything.
That's a
So we
20-pound.
had- Yeah, yeah. But we had so many of those boxes, and I had a dumpster here. I was like, hey, I'm gonna like consolidate and get rid of all these boxes. He's like, if you throw my kitty litter box away, I'm going in that dumpster after it.
Empty 5-gallon bucket.
I
but
threw it in the
want-
dumpster when he wasn't here. The next day I come here and he's in the dumpster getting it out, and I was like, nah, Stop it.
I don't like to throw things away because, in a weird way, everything kind of works out in this haunt. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Honestly, that kitty litter box could have went right there. Like some old lady lived in here.
I don't know how to explain it to you, but like in the weirdest way, we'll need a specific thing for certain things, and we always have it.
Yeah.
But when you keep everything, you always have it.
Yeah.
So in my head,
The
theory
hoarder
works,
mentality.
the logistic works.
Sorry for any hoarders
Do
out
I got a whole
there.
pile of shit that I don't need? Yes, but that one little thing in that pile of shit that I needed, I got it.
Man, I'm thankful you guys didn't have to move from this location because
Oh, that's a nightmare because I think about it all the time. I'm like, if we ever have to,
I'ma
do this
set it
on-
on fire.
I don't know how it's happening. The walls are modular for the most part.
Yeah.
But like, it's gonna be a nightmare. I don't even know where to start. I'll just hire a crew to be like, hey, come in, organize this stuff, and like get it out of here because I can't be a part of that.
that makes the most
I
sense.
can't be a part of it.
How well? Okay, when it comes to the layout, do you all have like any sort of like walkthrough plans? Do you all have like, I want them to turn right here, I want them to turn left here?
Yeah. So this room is one of those examples. The first time, which I know y'all can't see it on the video, but it was kind of not a straight walkthrough. We tried not to do it, but it still happened where they'd walk just kind of this way. Now they loop all the way around this room, and it's because we didn't like the original like setup for it. So we're like, let's reconfigure that. Like, change it up, pull out the blueprint. How can we get them out of here quicker?
So it kind of evolves every year. So like basically like what she's saying, if you're watching the video, like that wall to the left, it wasn't here and it was back a little further. So this room was larger. But then this year we were like, all right, that's kind of wasted space. So we pulled this wall in, which created a hallway on the other side. So realistically, each space just kind of evolves every year into what we need it to be. So it like some grows, some shrink, like just really dependent. But as far as a layout, I'm not one of those people that can just sit down and be like, this is this room, this is that room. Like I have to be in the space to like
That was
see
Jimmy.
it, feel it, like, you know. Yeah, Jimmy, he was our like
Our
layout on
architect
paper.
for sure.
When we redid the entire haunt last year, he gave us basically the layout that we started with, and then we just every year build on what we have.
So let's talk about that for a second because we haven't had an opportunity to make Jimmy cry while watching this yet. So
Yeah.
Jimmy is no longer here. He's no longer in
Not
South.
dead,
No. He's no longer in South
She's no
Carolina.
longer with us.
He has taken a position down in the Orlando area where I don't know what it is he's done, but I know that when he was in the middle of transplant, he made it sound as though it was something. Why are we kicking our feet? What are we?
My old lady needs her locking
Oh,
up.
I see. Okay, I didn't.
We're old and crinkly.
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was part of the
This is a
story of.
can dance.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on.
I didn't know if it was part of the story of what Jimmy's doing.
We're just old.
Do we? Is it possible to say what Jimmy's doing so that people could
he
be
actually
excited
moved down
for
there
him?
because he applied to a school down there, got into it. That is going to help him reach the goals that he set for himself to like do things with Disney and Universal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to get where he wants to go with that, he had to go to that school for it.
Full Sail.
So yeah. Oh well.
No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I would go to Full Sail. Don't play.
I did go to Full Sail.
Did you really?
I did.
You went to Full Sail.
I did. It's online. You can go online.
That is crazy. I know plenty. I know several people that actually went to Full Sail, like, and that are in. They're whether they're in radio or TV or whatever. Like that's the school to go to for like media arts
I would
and
have to go to actual campus for what I wanted to do
Yeah.
there, but
well, shout out to Full Sail.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sponsored by Full Sail.
I wish they have money.
Yeah.
Full Sail. You can call me though.
all about nothing.
That's right.
Yeah, but no, he went down there for some school, and he actually just got offered a position.
Literally the other day when we got done recording the first podcast, he texted us and was like, "Hey, I actually got like."
He got the job he wanted, and so it's,
Can we?
what, do you know the official title of it?
Hell no.
So his profession is architect.
Oh, okay.
Interior architecture. So, and that's something he wanted to do in the parks, theme parks and stuff. So it's going to be adjacent to that,
Okay.
So it's almost like the themed scenic event kind of stuff.
Yeah.
like this stuff.
So basically, what we're doing in the haunt and things like
He's
that.
just getting paid for it.
He's
bigger scale and paid
professional.
way better money.
That's fantastic.
I'm a professional.
Well, Jimmy, you're definitely missed, but we're all very proud of you.
We actually saw him last week. So.
Yeah.
I also asked him to call me yesterday, and he didn't. I'm just going to throw that out there.
So in a week and a half, when this airs,
Feel bad, girl.
You're now 2 weeks late.
Still haven't got that phone call.
Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees, obviously, this is hosted by the Jaycees. You are still currently the president, with a deepening sigh.
To be fair, it's been a fun run. This is my third year as the chapter president for the Cayce-West, but we had to do a lot of rebuild after COVID. So I kept it just to make sure we could get it back up, and I'm about ready to hand off the reins, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How does the Jaycees benefit the community with an event like this, or the things that you all do throughout the course of the year? Start with the course of the year, then we'll get back to the haunt.
Course of the year. So as like a JC member, we like to stand on that it's an organization for personal and professional development. Personal being that you make a lot of really good friends here. Like, honestly, if I weren't here, I wouldn't have him.
Yeah.
He's my best friend. So those kind of personal developments where you get to attach to people and make your own family. And professionally, we offer different types of trainings that go from like international down to local levels of just different trainers for like program management, and we have people that help with like resume building, like all sorts of different things. So it's really good for young active citizens between 18 and 40 because it can show them how to build themselves professionally. But community-wise, we were very active in the community for a long time. Again, COVID hit. Things kind of dwindled for a lot of chapters everywhere, and then rebuild has been a slow, painful, growing thing. But we're back there, and we're still spreading our hand back out into the community to let them know that we are still here. But we do like the parades and the events where we set up, and we're like, hey, this is us. But we also do like feeding your neighbor type things at Thanksgiving, families helping families. This project specifically for the haunt, a lot of that money goes to JC Camp Hope. So that's a summer camping Clemson for people with cognitive disabilities of all ages. But yeah, I'm sorry if I overspoke that.
No.
Okay.
No. I think it's important to know. Do you know of any other Jaycees in South Carolina that do haunted houses as well as an event?
No, and I say that because they are doing other things during this time. We each choose our main projects. This just happened to be the main project of Cayce-West Columbia. I know, like Low Country, they have a chapter down there. They do trunk or treats every year.
Okay.
And Spartanburg, I want to say they actually have a car show coming up next weekend.
That's cool.
And they do that annually, and it is a lot of fun. Clover, they do stuff during the summertime. Whitmire also does stuff during the summertime. So we all have our own projects that we invest into.
So this kind of goes back to your early involvement, but what was it? I think what you were. Sorry. No. You were in the haunt, or you worked in the haunt as a student at Brooklyn Cayce, and you came over and worked here. From that point, what was it that got you into being a member of the Jaycees?
They told me if I wanted to have anything to do with the haunt in the background that I had to be a member.
Ah.
That's it.
But then who knew that they were going to thrust all of the responsibility on me?
Are you a member of the Jaycees?
I have been a member since the very
18.
beginning.
Okay.
But my caveat is they pay for my membership because I'm literally living here.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time here.
We don't pay for it. We sponsor it. And the chapter doesn't. His friends do.
Okay, well, either way, I don't pay for membership actually every year because I feel like
That's fair. Look, I would.
Shout out Steve.
I would request. Oh, I was gonna say I would request the same membership.
Hey, we're not going to deter people from signing up to be members. Okay.
I've aged out. I've already aged out.
Funny enough, chapters can make their own rules, and I can actually make it to where you can join.
All right, fair. So what are some of the biggest challenges of actually putting on a haunt?
Where do we start?
Right.
Operation. I mean, literally.
Let's say from a safety aspect for the patrons, like what sort of thought process has to go into, we have to make sure this or this.
So one of the biggest ones we got flagged for years and years ago now, the old fire marshal of Cayce did not let us open one year because we don't have a sprinkler system set up in this building.
Okay.
And we got very lucky that year is also the year that he was terminated from his job.
Oh, all
He
right.
closed down a lot of businesses in case he did not like that. So the new fire marshal came in. He's like, "Hey, let's work out a deal, open up, but you need a fire watch here." So we set up with our guys across the street every year, give them our calendar. They sign up for each night, but they also volunteer to do this. We do have a setup where we pay them to volunteer to do this, but so they've been with us for how many years now?
It's been a few years now.
5.
Yeah, like we've developed a really good relationship.
They walked in here last night
Yeah,
with all the doors
truck
open.
over. Yeah, they swung through the parking lot and were like, let's walk through and see. And
Yeah.
they're all already fighting for spots to come in, like be our fire watch.
Shout out to Frenchie.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Firewatch, that's a huge thing. We definitely try and be ADA compliant, specifically because of like the type of
Wheelchairs and
charities
stuff,
everything
yeah.
that we like benefit. It would be crazy if we weren't. So yeah, fire safety, ADA compliancy, our actor safety, like making sure that things that we build that they interact with are safe and that they don't get hurt, because we have had instances in the past where accidents happen. So we try and like forward think and be like, hey, if they're going to be hanging on this, if they're going to be interacting with this, what does it need to?
But then it also goes in safety training, because we tell these actors, like, hey, this stuff is not built for it to be a jungle gym, but we understand you're going to do it from time to time. Don't depend on it every time,
Right.
because things happen, and that's why we have waivers.
I don't want to mention it again, but I do need Dylan's TikTok.
I told him the other night that we talked about him.
I need Dylan's TikTok because we talked about it on previous episodes, but Dylan is a little person. What does he prefer to be called? Just Dylan, I assume.
Yeah, just Dylan. But
All right.
no, when talking to him about our first recording, I was just like, we hesitated around what to call you, and he's like, I'm a fucking little person. Like,
Yeah, okay.
he thought I was just crazy. But yeah, I mean, Dylan's just a normal little guy.
Little person, big personality.
Is he going to be acting this year?
I hope so. He told me he's going to try his best to get out here.
Okay.
He had a baby about a
Oh.
little over a year ago.
Well,
Gorgeous
congratulations,
little
Dylan.
thing. Yeah, and so they are busy learning
Yeah.
or relearning parenthood, because his first kid is a lot older than that, so it's been a while. But yes, he's planning on making at least a few guest appearances. So
I've told the story before, but he was dressed in like a lab coat that was definitely
the lab dress.
not. Yeah, it extended well past his feet, and he popped his head through an open door or an open window or something like that as we came back by. You jump from that because but then like we get past that corner and the hall is wide enough, but all of a sudden Dylan, little person in this lab coat, comes flying past us. That was probably the craziest. And I want
could outrun me. Like, it's wild.
he was really good, and his theatric skills were on point. It was very entertaining. So yeah, so Dylan, I hope you get to make it. I hope he's here on the nights that I come out, because I'd like to talk to him.
I'll tell him.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic. Can you share some of the most rewarding experiences that you all have had from the hunt, and not just your friendship, because we talk about that a lot.
That's priceless.
Oh, of course, but beyond that, like involving like the hunt, like what's like at the end of the night, do you look at the ticket sales and go like, holy crap, look at how well we did? Or
Honestly, I don't know though, because like we're always going to be doing something here. Like,
Yeah.
tickets are always going to sell. Word of mouth alone is going to get us to the next year, whatever. But walking through and the relationships that you make with the people here, and knowing how timid they're actually, like their personality is outside of here when they get back here, and they just blossom open with a personality you don't see from them.
yeah,
That I love that. So like, it gives me like mama pride joy. So I guess that's why they're our haunt babies. But watching them open up here and become whole new people, that's like, look, you don't have to always be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we even-
weird.
We even had a new guy come last night, brought by one of our previous actors. One that you had aforementioned said that was a cool guy, Brian.
Yeah.
Last time, but he brought a guy up here last night.
he took a lot of shots, and not drinking, like for the
don't
for
tell
the
what happens in the background.
Let's say a lot of shots.
for the Friday, or no, for the Valentine's Day, we shot little Orbeez out
Yeah.
at the zombies, I guess, or whatever. And I think there was nobody going through at the time, and somebody let me turn the velocity of the Orbeez
So
up.
like the AK mode or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was violent, but yeah, Brian let us shoot him a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he brought someone last night that like was really shy, like in terms of introducing him personality wise. But those are always the people that end up, getting in this space, and then like they become again a Brian. That was him 2 years ago, and then now that they bring more people, they just become part of the family. But to kind of speak into what I find prideful at the end of the night, like I do love the camaraderie and like the family that we build here. Another thing is just seeing our work come to life too. It's a little bit of a vain moment, I guess, but like the hours and hours and hours that we spend here, like nobody ever sees that.
Yeah.
They're aware because you don't have time with your family and friends and everything specifically at this time of the year. But once it all comes together and we open the doors and customers are running out screaming, saying what a good time they had, that makes it all worth it.
It does.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest interviews that Trent ever did when we were here a few years ago was a little kid came screaming out, and the I'd have to pull the audio, but it was I might do that for this episode. Yeah, I might insert that in here, but it was such because the kid probably wasn't but 7, 8, 9 years old, and just describing everything that went on, and it was like yeah, our friends did that.
But see, and that's the weird part too, is like that magic making moment, because like you remember being a child and like the things that inspired you or scared you or did all those things. So to create that for somebody else is really cool.
Care Bears.
I know. Yeah, they probably ruined me, but
Probably.
the worst way.
So I know we sort of mentioned that the theme might be considered a prequel to Dark Harvest.
I really love that. Thank you. Because
You're
the more
welcome.
you say it, the more I'm just like, a prequel.
You're
This
welcome.
is a prequel. The house hasn't been remodeled.
Physically, what can patrons expect this year?
Ooh,
To be scared. No.
That's fair.
some bootastic times.
The tree out here.
Well,
There's
I was gonna say all new sets,
Oh.
No, I'm
like,
kidding. You say it.
For the most part, I think the only thing recycled realistically are greenhouse and the actual house structure.
Yeah.
Other than that, and the kitchen maybe, but other than that, everything,
remodeled
if I
that.
like wind back in my brain, has been touched in some ways. So
Yeah.
like, everything we said we weren't gonna do it, and here we are. Which is
We
probably
were
why
only
saying
supposed to
no.
add to it, and then we still just did it all
Sunday,
again.
so we got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We got 5 days.
He told me not to come on the first night.
Yeah,
Don't you come on the first weekend?
I hate when
First
friends and
weekend.
family- I was about to say, friends and family that come our opening weekends, I'm like, you don't get it. You saw us up here all this time, and you know we're not ready. And you're
Yeah.
trying to see it. Come back at the end of the
Yes.
This episode's going to drop on the weekend on the Monday after the first weekend. So so make sure to come out the second weekend.
Another thing to expect that I'm really stoked about this is like the levels of it are going to be very different, and I say that because we've added so much more to the levels. I don't know. I'm trying to like speak in code, but I don't want to like
What's the intensity this year? Like,
definitely higher. We added a lot more intensity. Like
do you have a suggestion as far as like age range?
well, honestly, I've put it on our website for the past 2 years now. I'd like to aim for think about it PG-13-esque. Our actors aren't running through here screaming and cussing or anything like that.
Right.
But some characters are higher intensified by if one of our characters, Brian, he's a very big scary guy. So watching that big scary guy charge at you, and he's like, "I told you assholes to get off my lawn." If I were to give away the yard scene outside. But that kind of thing can make his character more aggressive and scary.
Yeah.
It sells it a little more. So try to tell people hey, there is some profanity, slight nudity. You're not going to see a titty pop out, but we had a shower scene
dark.
where we had someone who was drenched and you could see
Oh,
the
okay.
type
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So that kind of stuff. There's some weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
Okay, weird doesn't even have the same definition as
Not at all.
That's fair. You mentioned that you're already looking towards next year because you all start looking at what you can do for next year's haunt. Is that partially because you've almost concreted this one in for this season? That
Thanks, Barrett. This season's done.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's because we know what's happening here. The fine lines that we're putting in right now.
Yeah.
That's tedious, kind of autopilot work for some of it. So we are thinking ahead, but this also inspires next year. So we're thinking about, like, are we going to keep some of this again, or do we want to scrap the whole thing and go over it? Like, that was a conversation we had in Florida. So.
And one thing that we tried to focus on this year was adding more, like, we've always been a very actor-focused haunted house, so we wanted to add some more, like, quote-unquote special effects things. So we went to the trade show earlier this year with that intention, was like, hey, let's get certain triggers and certain, like, pop scare kind of, like, effects, or, like, you know, pneumatic props and things
Sure.
like that, to kind of, like, just add an extra level, like, an extra layer on top of, like, our actors. So they're here to solidify the show, but then all these cool things to just add motion to a room, or add an effect to a room that, like, generally would be stagnant. So yeah, it's stuff like that that we're trying to think forward to next year, where it's like, hey, let's not touch anything and let's go buy some cool stuff. But
And then we're going to come back and tear it all down.
that never happened.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I want to ask you is, will there be any non-Halloween haunts this year? So after the Halloween season, could we potentially see a Thanksgiving or Christmas, or just to take
Could
advantage?
you imagine an evil turkey running around here? I've always wanted to do a Christmas show, and every year I'm just like, we're going to do it this year. By the time October's over, I'm just like, I don't ever want to see this building again until 2020 next year.
We are
We get to use this episode again next year because she wasn't specific about what year it is.
That specific clip of it. So, I mean, potentially, if we're able to pump it out, we will pump it out. Mainly, we'll gear towards Valentine's Day because it's way easier for us.
Yeah.
Give us
So
that mental break.
most likely, you'll see us Valentine's Day again.
But we do have a snow machine, so if we wanted to do
And I did just order juice for it.
So if we wanted to do a Christmas show, we're prepared.
That sounds great.
All I'm going to do is add snow.
I'd be here for it. I'm always up for what entertains me, which is people trying to scare me.
Oh, no, you're weird, too.
I am odd. That's fair. In fact, if you think you're odder than me, you can certainly tell us in the.
You're on the next interview couch.
That's right. We'll put you right here. You get to talk to them. So 1153 Walter Price Road, Cayce, South Carolina. Jaycees put this on every year. It's the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees. It's the Hall of Horrors. Again, it'll be every weekend in October. And then some Thursday nights sprinkled in, or a couple Thursday nights starting the 17th. Again, we will be here recording live, broadcasting live, to try and encourage more people to come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know that you all already sat through the 7 questions, but we have to do it again because we didn't.
I was going to ask you if you were going to.
We didn't get an opportunity to actually get all of that.
If it helps, I've forgotten them.
That is actually very helpful. Ironically, I forget them too. I ask them every week.
You should talk to your doctor.
my neurologist is just impressed that I remember stuff. Not to go too deep. All right, so
Let's unpack.
yeah, so
We are
this is 7 questions. We ask 7 questions of our guests every time we have them on. Y'all are prepared.
We're
There's
lining
stretching
up.
involved.
Yeah.
All right.
These joints.
So
Just got to run out of here.
I'm hoping that this question is different. The answer is different from the last time I asked when we recorded this and the audio sucked. First question: what was the last thing you Googled?
It is different. It's
Ah.
been like
I was about to
days.
say, let's pull up these phones.
But mine was wholesome last
I was
time.
about to say mine last time was at least interesting because I was Googling like educational things. But honestly, oddly enough, it was Halloween stuff. Like I Googled things to put into the haunt.
Oh, okay.
See, even before then.
Can I do one that's not haunt related? Because all of my
Yeah.
I was here last night.
No, they don't have to be
I
haunt related.
looked up Lowe's and stuff. Last non-haunt related thing
My last browser
Yeah.
was for Lowe's.
was it was about Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh.
So that's what I was on a Google rampage about because I had to fact check somebody.
Oh, nice. What did it work out in her favor?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're here for
Okay.
the girls.
So if you could have one superpower, what would that superpower be?
That's not changing. I want to be Wolverine.
Okay, that's right.
What a weird like.
It's not. I have knives in my hands and I'll never die. And I won't have any more scars put on this body.
You I think I originally said invisibility because I'd be up to no good.
Yeah.
I solemnly swear.
Finger popping them assholes.
And I
Well-
think I'm going to stick with that.
So, but when you think of a superpower, you have the superpower and you try to do good with it.
He's a villain.
You're okay. You're a
I
villain.
was about to say, because if you're like a villain, you live longer.
Yeah.
Think about the most evil people you know. They're not going nowhere.
They be in their 70s in front of cameras.
Voting for
rich.
Trump.
I could be 70. I could be rich. I like that for me.
If third question, if your life were a movie, what would the title be? I'm guessing that.
Teenage Wasteland.
Oh, all right.
What the hell did we say last time?
I don't remember, which is why this works. Because like I always feel like I'm perpetually in a teenage state, and what am I doing with my life?
Okay,
Haunted
that's fair.
houses, like, trip.
That's fair.
I have no clue.
Dazed and confused.
That's good.
Say anything.
That's a good band.
Yeah, any of those actually, because I'm at a loss for words. That's it, a loss for words.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think.
I'm gonna stick with my last one too because I remember that one. Shitty high school cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah,
You did say she did high school cheeseburgers, and I think I said pizza.
You did say pizza.
Lots and lots of ranch.
yeah.
But honestly, anything. Can ranch be my food? I think ranch.
You just want ranch dressing like a straw?
It is my food, and then everything else is the accessory. Like, it's the vehicle or the ranch. That's what I think my answer is, because I cannot live without ranch.
Simply-
I think there's
on my
definitely
pizza
accessory
yesterday.
involved.
I've even
Pizza
eaten
for
ranch.
breakfast.
I've even eaten ranch on ramen noodles.
Really?
That sounds good as hell.
It's a problem.
I think at that point it's no longer like ramen noodles. It's like a stew.
It's like a creamy, like, okay, so here's the thing. You let the moisture get out of it. Like, if you leave ramen noodles long enough, it'll absorb all the moisture.
Yes,
out.
that's true.
So then it becomes more of like the
Ooh,
solid state.
yeah.
I,
like
s-
some
I strain my noodles.
ranch. I do too, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want that much
yeah.
liquid.
I
in there.
strain.
Right.
I just get the regular chicken flavored whatever
Right.
with the packet, and then I cook the noodles. I strain them, and then I add butter and Parmesan and red pepper flakes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jesus, because
I
I
was
was
gonna say,
hoping
I
you were
season-
not about to be like, I strain them and then I slurp them up raw.
No, I season the hell out of my noodles. I will put
I started
everything
checking
in that
chopping
cabinet,
that.
like seasoning, ranch, and then I'll even put the little crunchy onions on top because I'm a texture boy.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah.
No, that does sound good.
So
I gotta
We gotta stop. I'm getting hungry.
try the crunchy onion.
Oh, I keep those in the crunchy jalapenos.
Nice. Oh, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. What is your least favorite candy and why?
Actually, anything marshmallow. I'm changing my answer. Anything marshmallow. Like, I just don't. A, it's the texture problem.
Okay.
And then B, marshmallow just has I can't get with it.
Nothing. I love candy.
Anything?
I'm gonna have to stick with the last one. The only thing I don't know what I'm missing on is the cherry stuff because
Oh, that's right.
I'm a little
Low allergic to cherries.
trying to stay away from it because I don't want to test the water. So
Even black licorice, like that's the one we get the
Black
most.
licorice.
I think
It tastes
that's-
like root beer to me.
I think
Interesting.
black licorice is stereotypical. I mean, it's not great, but like, it's not bad.
See, but I like it
Okay.
because it's wildly it's like root beer and perfume. I don't know, and it's good.
Interesting.
And I love candy corn. I like marshmallows.
I'm very excited to ask question number 6 because I'm hoping we get the same response. What is one strange or unusual talent?
I don't want to do it again.
You gotta do that.
So Shelby's got an interesting talent that is
And then I could see myself
I was
this
gonna
time
say, now you
too.
can
Oh,
see
yeah.
that eyeball.
I'm gonna
It's-
close that laptop.
it's that's what created today. She does this weird eye flickering thing that I'm gonna
Sounds pretty, right? It's not. It's gross.
I'm gonna need for her to get up in front of the camera.
Should you go close first so you can give them the same response as last time? Because I'm sure it's just as gross.
I actually have a near photographic memory of this,
remember that.
especially.
And then also to throw this out there, I have dermatitis, and last time I know my face was kind of stressing out dry. So this time it's not, though. At least I got that going for me.
She looks fine today. It's no
It's
issues.
because I pretty much slept here last night. And then they can't. I hate it. Okay. Let's see. I'm on the spot. It's weird.
Now you're nervous, so now I definitely should twitch. Go ahead, bitch.
Oh, I saw it.
Ew,
Yeah.
don't you? Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, it's gross.
I don't even know what to describe that as.
I don't either.
My special talent that you were wildly cackling at last time. I'm borderline disrespectful.
Fuck that. Hold them up again, bitch.
My weird ass fingers. Barrett! I was hoping that.
Put your hand right there.
Okay, so
He cannot flatten out those two fingers on
It's like
either
he has so
hand.
much cartilage behind his fingers.
It will not flatten out. I made jokes in the last recording that buying like isotonic gloves for him for driving. I mean, luckily you live in South Carolina because like it doesn't ever get that cold.
enough to drive.
You can't
Plus,
play on
you
my
buy her
softball
gloves, you ain't
team.
gonna wear 'em.
That's
I think
right.
the thing that set you off last time was the panic that gets instilled in me when I have to reach into things and I can't. Like I just get like this
He's
weird
claustrophobic, so like him reaching in between like his car seat or something.
My phone falls down the crack, which it does constantly because it's always in my lap, and I turn and it'll go down the car crack, and then like I'll reach in and I can't get my hand, so then I panic. And I'm like, it's not great.
Wait till
So
I ask someone
that
with
to me doesn't seem like a talent, but
Well, no,
you can ball your fist. You can ball up. You can make a fist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strongest little fist.
Yeah.
Do you though? Do you have any weird talent that we just don't know about? That's the
okay,
question.
The question was a weird talent?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a weird thing about you.
It is. I mean, it can be either, but
So why the hell did you let me say it last time? And then again.
Because it's fucking funny. I'm sorry.
No, I am.
He
like-
can pop his hips better than anyone I've ever seen.
I'm like Adele Dazeem. I'm just wickedly talented.
Okay.
All around. All around.
there's no like you can see in the dark or.
I can barely see in the day.
That's fair.
Like,
That's fair.
It's getting.
I'm gonna have to be watching you now because what is your like actual rare?
I don't think I have one.
You are rare.
Nothing specific other than my award-winning personality.
Well, that's look. Some people don't have that.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
Some of them run for president. All right, last question. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
I know I kicked my brother off the island last time.
Yeah, you did. Quick too.
Well, okay. It
Like
was for my-
abandoned him.
Well, he's dead. It's fine.
He said that or alive.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox.
Beyonce, Michael J. Fox. Who's my last one?
Well,
Oh, Robin Williams.
that's right, Rob Williams. That's a good one.
I'm
Remember
sticking
what
with those,
all my
actually.
were. I know it was Beyonce for sure. because
You did have
that's-
Beyonce in there.
Listen, business savvy. Like there are just things about that woman. I have questions.
I would
If she'd
stick
be
my
willing-
finger in a light socket if she'd let me just brush the dust off her car.
She'd be willing to let me. I just want to know how she lives her life. Like, what does a day in the life look like? You know, like you were that famous, you cannot go out in public. Period. Like, what does your life?
She
look
has her own like dome built, and that's her actual Earth.
like? But does that get lonely at times? It has. To.
She's
like,
got
I'm
Yeah.
babies.
Interacting, so like, I just have so many questions.
I think Beyonce's level of talent and just her stardom is probably if it was me, it would be overwhelming.
It has
Why
to
do
be
you think you don't
dedicated.
see that girl anywhere? Because
That's true.
She's too elite. She's like, I know I can stay away
Sometimes I
from
wanna
you.
be
I'm out of
famous,
here.
But it's like, what level of famous? Like, do I want to just be mediocre, like social media famous in terms of like, yes, I have thousands of followers, but like, I can go out in regular life. Like, some people may recognize me, some don't.
I just
And, like,
I just want to point this out. Remembering what your fingers do. That's all I'm watching.
okay, well, I'm gonna sit
Don't be
And
self-conscious.
this is why I've got my hand curled around the mic because you can't tell. Barry.
Remember, punch him. Show him
Hey,
that fist of
look,
fury.
And just real quick, current topic. Beyonce, of course, married to Jay-Z. There is a lot going down with this whole P. Diddy situation.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's been wild.
And there's the potential that there are going to be tens of celebrity, like big time celebrities that are going to be potentially indicted over for some of this stuff. And Jay-Z might be one of the ones.
Nobody cares about him. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there.
I mean,
He
I
broke
love-
our heart in Lemonade, and that's where I'm staying.
I love Beyonce, not Jay-Z. She
Okay.
tells us to love him.
That's fair enough. Also, the implication that P. Diddy is likely involved in both Tupac and Biggie's deaths.
I heard that too. He paid $1 million for the hitman because the hitman's
Yeah.
like, I don't care if I go to jail. I'm telling.
And then he made sure that Biggie was outside of the club, that he was not only that Biggie was in LA, outside of the club when Biggie got shot 4 times.
Yeah.
So,
It's like that man was waiting for the right time to say something too.
Yeah.
Like nobody would believe him before this.
yeah. So, fuck you, Sean Combs.
Right.
Because you
Mad wow.
essentially it's coming together. You eliminated two of easily the most important people in in
musical history.
Yeah, cultural. I think Tupac could have been governor or president by now. Yeah. Both
President Tupac,
between
I would shit rainbows.
between Biggie and Tupac, you have literally two of the most talented, genius level performers and lyricists that have ever existed, and he took those away. Tupac was what, in his 20s?
Yeah.
Biggie was approaching 30, and but the impact that they have now is they still have an unbelievable impact. So
They became legends, and that sucks to say because they're gone. But at least they weren't forgotten. They were so good that they made their stance in history. So
I'll just
Titty
again.
Diddy, I hope you enjoy
titty.
Titty Diddy. Enjoy where you're going.
That go to jail, and I hope that he succumbs to all of the things that he potentially did to children, and
Oh, absolutely. Never mind.
Yeah, well, we'll just say I hope justice finds its way to take care of him. So I want to thank.
That's my second person that I want to.
Taylor
We
Swift.
haven't gotten through your three people.
And then my grandmother. Peace out.
So Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and your grandmother.
Taylor, I've got questions.
I also do too. I have a lot of. Can I sit in? Can I be your +1 to your dinners, and you can be my +1 to
Oh,
mine?
and see, you just remixed your deal, so now we got +6s.
That's fine.
Fourth wall break.
6 people that
Look,
are
it's
alive.
not concrete. It's not a it's a canvas. It's an incomplete canvas. That's what it is. Well, I want to thank you guys again for being on the show.
We didn't derail too much.
No,
Last
it was
time we
great.
At least had kind of rested us. We've been up for 2 days now.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm still slightly drunk from last night.
No, but it's I appreciate the fact that one, you've allowed us into this and to be able to get you guys on pre-haunt. Absolutely this year. I know we said it last year, but we're definitely going to have to do a post-haunt episode.
So actually, if you want to talk about that after this, and I got some ideas.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to do it. Again, it's the Hall of Horrors put on by the Cayce-West Columbia Jaycees here, 1153 Walter Price Road. Shows running through October. Ticket prices vary between $20 and $40. You get the upper tier price stuff. You're going to have the opportunity for pictures, and you can take those home or post them on social media. Also, tag them in the pictures that you take when you come, because
Helps us and we're a charity.
yeah, it's a big deal. It helps out a lot. So, again, thank you guys for being on the show with us.
Thank you so much. It's been
That is going to do it for episode number 225. Links to past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media are available on our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Also, their webpage is hallofhorrors.org. So go check that out.
You got it right.
If you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show monthly? Members get an early access episode. They get access to this episode early, as well as exclusive content, or you can make a one-time donation through the same link. And if you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533. You can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. There are links available on the webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Thank you, everybody, just for listening, watching. Subscribe to the show wherever you are at, and just be kind, stay safe, and keep your hands to yourself.
That's to you, Diddy.
The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Barrett Gruber, or visit my Linktree /Barrett Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. To find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcast. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Me takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all the podcast platforms. Visit WTWLpod.com for details. As well, you can listen to the political and social conversation between Dr. Jamela Brooks and Bill Kimmler on Black, White, and Blue in the South. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. Thank you for listening. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2024, all rights reserved.